Welcome to Ancient Astronauts. I'm your host, Ben Carter. In the ancient scriptures of the Book of Revelation, there is a verse that has long puzzled scholars and theologians alike. Revelation 1:7 reads, "Behold, he is coming with the clouds, and every eye will see him, even those who pierced him, and all tribes of the earth will wail on account of him." On the surface, this verse seems to prophesy the return of a divine figure. But what if the traditional interpretation is missing a critical dimension of understanding? What if he refers not to a divine figure, but to an extraterrestrial entity? And what if coming with the clouds is not a metaphorical phrase, but a literal description of a spacecraft descending from the skies? This interpretation may seem radical, but it aligns with a growing body of thought known as the ancient astronaut theory, which posits that many religious texts contain coded accounts of contact between ancient humans and extraterrestrial beings. Consider the phrase, "every eye will see him." In an era without mass communication or global broadcasting, how could every eye on Earth witness a single event? Unless, of course, the event in question was of such magnitude and significance that it was impossible to ignore, like the arrival of an enormous spacecraft visible in the skies across the globe. And what of the phrase, "all tribes of the earth will wail on account of him"? Could this allude to a global sense of awe and fear stirred by the arrival of beings from another world, superior to us in technology and knowledge? The Book of Revelation is filled with apocalyptic visions and prophetic imagery. Its language is rich in metaphor and symbolism, leaving ample room for interpretation. But when we view these ancient texts through the lens of the ancient astronaut theory, new interpretations emerge. What if these scriptures are not prophecies of divine judgment, but warnings of an impending extraterrestrial encounter? What if the Book of Revelation is not a text of religious prophecy, but a coded message left by our ancestors, trying to convey their encounters with beings from beyond our world? The idea may seem far-fetched to some, but for those who dare to question the conventional interpretations, it opens up a realm of intriguing possibilities. As we delve deeper into the Book of Revelation, let us keep our minds open to the possibility that the truth it holds may be far stranger and more complex than we have ever imagined. The ancient astronaut theory is rooted in the belief that our ancestors were visited by extraterrestrial beings possessing advanced technology and knowledge. To truly understand this theory's implications in relation to the Book of Revelation, we must first step back into the world of the ancients, a world that was as complex and diverse as our own, and perhaps even more mystifying. In the 1st century CE, the Roman Empire was the dominant power, its reach extending across the Mediterranean and into parts of Africa, Asia, and Europe. It was a time of great cultural exchange, as well as conflict and upheaval. The Book of Revelation was likely written during this era, a time when the apocalyptic and prophetic genre was popular. This context provides a fertile ground for the idea that the book could contain coded messages or warnings about extraterrestrial contact. But if we're to believe that our ancestors had encounters with extraterrestrial beings, we must consider their understanding of the cosmos. The ancient Romans, like many other ancient cultures, believed in a multitude of gods and celestial beings. They looked up at the night sky with reverence and fear, seeing in the stars and planets the homes of their deities. Consider their mythology. The Romans, inheriting the gods of the Greeks, believed in beings who descended from the heavens, performed miraculous feats, and interacted with humans. These narratives, when viewed through the lens of the ancient astronaut theory, bear striking similarities to accounts of extraterrestrial contact. The gods' descent from the skies, their supernatural abilities, and their interest in human affairs all parallel common elements of extraterrestrial encounters. Historical records also show that the ancients were capable of remarkable technological achievements. The construction of the pyramids, the development of advanced astronomy, and the creation of intricate artifacts all demonstrate a level of knowledge and skill that seems beyond their time. Could these achievements have been influenced or facilitated by extraterrestrial technology? The spiritual beliefs of the ancients further lend credence to this theory. The idea of divine beings descending from the heavens is a central theme in many religions. Could these divine beings be extraterrestrial visitors, perceived as gods due to their advanced technology and knowledge? Reflecting on these aspects of the ancient world, it becomes clear that the idea of extraterrestrial contact is not entirely out of place. The cultural context, mythology, technological achievements, and spiritual beliefs of the ancients all align with the hypothesis that our ancestors may have encountered beings from beyond our world. And if this is true, then perhaps the Book of Revelation holds not divine prophecies, but ancient alien warnings waiting to be deciphered. The foundation of this intriguing theory is not limited to Roman mythology alone. In fact, it extends to ancient scriptures, carvings, temples, and oral legends across various cultures and civilizations. Each of these artifacts provides a unique lens through which we can examine the ancient astronaut theory. The Sumerians, for example, left behind cuneiform tablets that detail interactions with divine beings known as the Anunnaki. They purportedly descended from the heavens, bestowing knowledge and wisdom upon the Sumerians. The Anunnaki were said to have taught the Sumerians about agriculture, law, and even the complex mathematics necessary for architectural feats like ziggurats. Could these deities have been visitors from outer space, sharing their advanced knowledge with our ancestors? Similarly, the ancient scriptures of India, known as the Vedas, contain fascinating descriptions of flying chariots called vimanas. These texts detail their construction, their flight paths, and even battles in the sky. The sophistication with which these craft are described is astounding, leaving us to wonder if these were mere products of elaborate imagination or accounts of actual advanced technology. Further, we find intriguing depictions in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, some of which bear an uncanny resemblance to modern technology. Images that look like helicopters, submarines, and even spacecraft adorn the walls of certain temples. Could these be depictions of extraterrestrial vehicles seen by the ancient Egyptians? The ancient Mayans, too, were known for their advanced understanding of astronomy. They built sophisticated observatories, like the one at Chichen Itza, and their calendar was remarkably accurate. Some of their legends speak of gods descending from the sky and imparting wisdom. Could these gods have been extraterrestrial beings, visiting Earth and sharing their knowledge? Across the globe, in the ancient Dogon tribe of Mali, we find a legend that speaks of amphibious beings from the star system Sirius, known as the Namo. The Dogon had knowledge of the Sirius star system that far exceeded the capabilities of their time, including the existence of the invisible companion star Sirius B, which wasn't confirmed by modern science until the 19th century. How could they have known this without advanced astronomical instruments unless this knowledge was imparted by extraterrestrial visitors? As we delve deeper into these ancient artifacts and legends, it becomes clear that the idea of extraterrestrial contact finds resonance in cultures across the globe. Whether these were actual encounters or simply the product of human imagination is yet to be definitively proven. Regardless, the possibility lingers, providing a tantalizing context to interpret the Book of Revelation and its potential ancient alien warnings. Central to the ancient astronaut theory is the belief that extraterrestrial beings interacted with primitive human societies and influenced their development. The Book of Revelation, with its vivid and cryptic imagery, provides a fertile ground for such interpretations. The theory suggests that the visions described by John of Patmos may not have been purely spiritual, but actual encounters with beings not of this world. Let's consider the descriptions of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Typically, they are interpreted as symbolic representations of war, famine, pestilence, and death. Yet some proponents of the ancient astronaut theory posit that these could be interpreted as advanced technologies or vehicles controlled by extraterrestrial entities. The first horseman rides a white horse, often interpreted as conquest or pestilence. Could this white horse, seen in the heavens, be a representation of a spacecraft, its white hue reflecting the sun's light? The second horse, red and representing war, could be another craft, possibly equipped with weapons that the primitive mind could only comprehend as a sword. The third horseman on a black horse symbolizing famine, might control a technology that can manipulate resources, causing scarcity. The fourth horseman, on a pale horse, embodies death. Could this be a reference to a weapon of mass destruction, a tool of annihilation beyond our comprehension? Further, the book describes the opening of the seventh seal, unleashing 7 angels with 7 trumpets. When each trumpet is sounded, a different catastrophe befalls the earth. Could these angels and their trumpets be an interpretation of extraterrestrial beings using advanced technology to cause these disasters? The book also speaks of a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. In an astronomical context, this could be a symbolic representation of a specific celestial alignment witnessed by John. Such interpretations, while speculative, highlight anomalies that contradict accepted historical and religious understanding. These descriptions, when viewed through the lens of the ancient astronaut theory, suggest potential non-human intervention and advanced technology beyond the scope of the era in question. The Book of Revelation is shrouded in mystery, its cryptic text leaving room for a multitude of interpretations. This, however, is the essence of the ancient astronaut theory, looking beyond conventional explanations, exploring the enigmatic, and entertaining the possibility of ancient non-human influences on our world. Turning our attention to the physical world, there are clues that might support these interpretations. One such clue is the Great Pyramid of Giza. This colossal structure, built with an accuracy that baffles modern engineers, aligns with the cardinal points, north, south, east, and west, with a precision that rivals our best GPS technology. Furthermore, the pyramid's construction coincides with Orion's belt, a significant constellation in many ancient cultures. Could this precision and alignment be the result of advanced technology or knowledge imparted by extraterrestrial entities? Another hint lies in the peculiarities of carbon dating. The Sphinx of Giza, according to traditional understanding, was built around 2500 BC. However, geological evidence suggests that it may be much older, possibly dating back to a time when the climate was markedly different. This inconsistency brings up questions about the traditional timeline of human civilization. Could ancient societies have been in contact with advanced entities that helped them construct these awe-inspiring monuments? Scientifically, there are anomalies within our own genetic makeup that are hard to explain. There are sections of our DNA that seem to have no apparent function, often referred to as junk DNA. Could this be remnants of ancient genetic manipulation by an advanced species? Some theorists argue that these genetic markers could be a sign of past extraterrestrial intervention, a fingerprint left behind in our very genetic code. Then, there are the Nazca lines in Peru, massive geoglyphs etched into the Earth's surface. Their true purpose remains a mystery, but what's even more mystifying is their scale. Some of these drawings can only be fully appreciated from a significant height, far beyond the reach of any technology known to have been available at the time. This begs the question, were these massive symbols created for viewers in the sky? The Pumapunku site in Bolivia presents another intriguing mystery. The ruins found there feature blocks of stone that are cut with such precision, it's hard to believe they were crafted with primitive tools. Moreover, some of the stones are of such size and weight that even modern machinery would struggle to move them. How did an ancient culture achieve this without advanced technology? These archaeological and scientific puzzles, when viewed through the lens of the ancient astronaut theory, suggest a past far more complex and layered than traditional history allows. The physical evidence, coupled with the cryptic messages in texts like the Book of Revelation, may paint a picture of a world influenced by forces and beings far beyond our current understanding. Yet, the mainstream academic community has been largely dismissive of these theories. Historians, anthropologists, and archaeologists often reject the idea of ancient alien intervention as pseudoscience. They argue that claims of extraterrestrial influence lack concrete evidence and are built on speculative interpretations of ancient texts and artifacts. Critics argue that proponents of the ancient astronaut theory often ignore the ingenuity and resourcefulness of ancient civilizations. To suggest that these feats of engineering and artistry could only have been achieved with alien assistance is seen by some as an affront to human achievement. They argue that it undermines the resilience, adaptability, and inventiveness of our ancestors, who were clearly capable of remarkable things. Governments, too, have shown a propensity to dismiss or even suppress theories that challenge the accepted narrative. Some theorists suggest that this is due to a desire to maintain control over the interpretation of history. They argue that by controlling the past, those in power can shape the present and future, dictating the narrative that suits their needs. There is also an inherent institutional resistance to ideas that disrupt established paradigms. In the academic world, tenure, funding, and reputation often depend on aligning with the mainstream consensus. This can lead to a form of intellectual gatekeeping, where ideas that challenge the status quo are marginalized or dismissed outright. There are numerous examples of this throughout history. Nicholas Copernicus faced backlash from the Church for suggesting that the Earth revolves around the Sun, a theory now universally accepted. Similarly, Alfred Wegener was ridiculed for proposing continental drift, an idea that forms the basis of modern plate tectonics. This pattern of denial and ridicule isn't unique to the ancient astronaut theory, but is a common response to ideas that challenge established norms. The question that arises then is not whether mainstream academia and governments reject these theories, they clearly do, but whether their rejection is based on a thorough examination of the evidence or an instinctive dismissal of ideas that challenge the status quo. The line between skepticism and cynicism can often blur, and it's important to distinguish between the two. Skepticism is a healthy approach that questions and tests assumptions. Cynicism, on the other hand, dismisses possibilities without thorough investigation. While mainstream academia and governments are quick to dismiss the ancient astronaut theory, it is important to remember the value of open-minded exploration. After all, history is replete with instances of once marginalized ideas that have revolutionized our understanding of the world. Turning our gaze back to the Book of Revelation, it becomes apparent that many of its rich symbolic depictions could be interpreted through the lens of encounters with advanced beings or technologies. Throughout the text, there are numerous references to divine entities appearing in the sky, descending from above, or journeying between the heavens and the earth. These descriptions echo many of the sky travel motifs found in ancient astronaut theories. The Book of Revelation presents an array of celestial phenomena and divine apparitions that, to the ancients, may have been interpreted as encounters with godlike beings. For instance, the opening of the seventh seal ushers in 7 angels with 7 trumpets. Each trumpet blast is followed by cataclysmic events, many of which are reminiscent of modern descriptions of natural disasters, or, arguably, the effects of advanced weaponry or technology. The first trumpet causes hail and fire mixed with blood to be thrown down to the earth, akin to a meteorological or atmospheric event. The second trumpet sees a huge mountain, all ablaze, thrown into the sea, a striking image that could be interpreted as a massive object crashing from the sky. Are these descriptions of divine wrath? Or could they be ancient interpretations of encounters with advanced technology, interpreted through the lens of spirituality? In the following chapters, the narrative becomes even more intriguing. A star falls from heaven to earth and is given the key to the shaft of the bottomless pit. This pit then releases a swarm of locusts with the power to torment people for 5 months. Could this be an ancient interpretation of a spacecraft descending from the heavens, unleashing some form of drone technology? Moreover, the descriptions of these locusts are worth noting. They are said to have been like horses prepared for battle, with crowns of gold, faces like human faces, hair like women's hair, and teeth like lions' teeth. This curious description, blending animalistic and human-like features with metallic and militaristic elements, could arguably be reminiscent of descriptions of advanced machinery or robotics. Furthermore, the use of divine epithets throughout the Book of Revelation may also offer insight. The references to the Lamb, the Alpha and Omega, and the King of Kings, among other titles, could be interpreted as attempts by ancient peoples to understand and categorize these advanced beings within their spiritual framework. While this interpretation is speculative, it highlights the potential for alternative readings of ancient texts. By re-examining these stories, symbols, and motifs through the lens of extraterrestrial visitation, a new layer of possible meanings emerges, offering fresh perspectives on our past and opening up new avenues for our understanding of human history and spirituality. In recent times, this reinterpretation of the Book of Revelation has gained considerable traction, fueling a profound cultural shift. Media outlets have played a pivotal role in this resurgence, with documentaries, books, and podcasts exploring the theory with fervor and tenacity. The popular television series Ancient Aliens, for instance, has dedicated several episodes to the topic. It engages viewers with compelling presentations of ancient texts, art, and structures, suggesting extraterrestrial influence. By visually demonstrating potential links between religious narratives and alien encounters, it invites the audience to question conventional interpretations and consider alternative perspectives. This exploration is not confined to the screen alone. Best-selling author Eric von Daniken's book, Chariots of the Gods, delves into the same territory. Published in 1968, it brought the theory into mainstream consciousness by arguing that many ancient marvels were influenced by extraterrestrial technology. The book's interpretation of the Book of Revelation is in line with the theory being discussed, sparking a wave of interest that still reverberates today. Similar discussions have found their way into the podcasting world as well. Shows like Mysterious Universe and The Unexplained regularly delve into the possible extraterrestrial influences on ancient cultures, including interpretations of religious texts. Their audio format allows for deep, nuanced discussions, enabling listeners to immerse themselves in the theories and draw their own conclusions. But perhaps most significantly, the rise of the internet and social media has spawned a thriving community of enthusiasts, researchers, and theorists. Forums such as Above Top Secret and the Ancient Aliens subreddit have become virtual hubs for the exchange of ideas and theories, fostering a culture of collaborative exploration. These platforms allow individuals from across the globe to share findings, debate interpretations, and collectively unravel the mysteries of our ancient past. This modern resurgence has not only popularized the theory, but has also influenced how we perceive our past. The potential for extraterrestrial influence on ancient civilizations, as suggested by interpretations of the Book of Revelation, has made its way into popular culture, fueling science fiction narratives and shifting public imagination. By presenting an alternative lens through which to view human history, it challenges us to reconsider our origins and understand our place in the universe. This growing popularity, however, is not without its controversies. Critics argue that such interpretations are speculative and lack concrete evidence. Yet, the theory continues to thrive in the face of skepticism, driven by a persistent human curiosity about the unknown, a testament to our enduring desire to unravel the mysteries of our past and to understand what may lie beyond the boundaries of our planet. Digging deeper into the labyrinth of possibilities, we encounter theories that are far more radical. The fringe extensions of the ancient astronaut hypothesis touch on subjects that, for many, push the boundaries of credibility. Yet they continue to attract a growing number of adherents, drawn by the tantalizing allure of forbidden knowledge. One such theory posits the existence of interdimensional beings. These entities, it is claimed, have the ability to move across dimensions at will, a power that allegedly allows them to manipulate human civilization from the shadows. They are purported to be the true architects of the apocalyptic events described in the Book of Revelation. Their purpose? It's suggested that these beings are guiding humanity towards a future of their design, using the text as a blueprint. Then there is the idea of ancient hybrid bloodlines. This theory suggests that the human race is not a singular species but a hybrid creation, the product of genetic manipulation by extraterrestrial beings. Advocates point to ancient texts, including the Book of Revelation, as evidence. They argue that the depictions of heavenly visitors and divine interventions are actually accounts of alien encounters and genetic experiments. The notion of suppressed alien technologies is another intriguing aspect of this hypothesis. Some theorists assert that ancient civilizations were gifted with advanced technologies by their extraterrestrial visitors. They believe that these technologies were lost or hidden over time, their remnants seen only in the unexplained architectural marvels of our ancient past. The question remains, could some of these lost technologies be the weapons and wonders portrayed in the Book of Revelation? Lastly, there is the concept that posits the extraterrestrial origins of humanity itself. This theory suggests that human beings are not native to Earth, but descendants of an alien species. The Book of Revelation, in this view, is a coded message from our ancestors, warning us of a future that they had foreseen, one filled with celestial conflict and divine judgment. Each of these theories adds another layer of complexity to the ancient astronaut hypothesis. They propose ideas that are extraordinary, unsettling, and at times, seemingly unbelievable. Yet they persist, fueled by a relentless human curiosity and a desire for answers that conventional science and history have yet to provide. Whether these theories hold any truth is a matter of personal belief. What is undeniable, however, is their capacity to inspire, to challenge, and to expand our thinking. The Book of Revelation, seen through this lens, becomes so much more than a religious text. It transforms into a cosmic puzzle, filled with clues about our past, our future, and our place in the universe. But the puzzle remains incomplete, the picture still fractured and elusive. The more we find, the more questions arise, challenging our preconceived notions of the world and our place in it. Why, for instance, do these ancient texts contain such precise astronomical information, far beyond the capabilities of the civilizations that supposedly authored them? How can we explain the existence of technologically advanced artifacts, incongruous with their historical period? And perhaps most puzzling of all, why do so many diverse cultures share similar stories of celestial beings descending from the sky? These questions prod at the fabric of accepted history, hinting at a past far more complex and mysterious than we've been led to believe. They suggest that humanity's origins might not be as terrestrial as we've assumed. The Book of Revelation, then, might not be a prophecy but a warning, a message from our extraterrestrial ancestors cautioning us of a future they'd already experienced. Yet, it is important to remember that these theories, while fascinating, are still that, theories. They remain on the fringes of mainstream academia, regarded with a mix of skepticism and curiosity. However, as with all theories, they deserve exploration and open-minded investigation. After all, the history of science is filled with ideas that were once considered heretical, only to become accepted truths. In the end, the ancient astronaut hypothesis, like the Book of Revelation itself, is a testament to the human capacity for wonder and the relentless pursuit of truth. It inspires us to look beyond our immediate reality, to question the known, and to seek answers in the unknown. It challenges us to rethink our history, our origins, and perhaps our future. So, as we close this journey, remember this: every ending is but a new beginning. The more we learn, the more we realize how little we truly know. The universe, in all its vastness, continues to surprise and confound us. The Book of Revelation, with its cryptic verses and apocalyptic warnings, remains an enigma. But perhaps one day, we'll decipher its code. And when we do, we might find that it tells not just the story of our past, but also the path to our future. In the meantime, let us keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep pushing the boundaries of knowledge. For, in the words of the great philosopher Socrates, the only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Let that be our guiding principle as we continue our quest for truth, in the stars and within ourselves. After all, we are the children of the cosmos, and the mysteries of the universe are our birthright. Let's dare to claim them. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of Ancient Astronauts. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.